almost died and I came back twice.
There's nothing to do with bodybuilding at all.
After all, we're human.
Do you still love bodybuilding?
You know, I'm bummed. I'm not doing good with my coach.
Please answer this question. Don't try to shy away from it.
That's not for me. You know what I'm saying?
George, how you been, man? I haven't seen you. You're one of my favorite people to talk to, but I barely ever see you. How you been, man?
I love you, brother. I'm good, man. We honestly can't complain. You know, you just have to keep saying God's good, man. You know, like that's all what I keep saying, honestly. I'm blessed. I'm blessed just to be alive, man. You know what I'm saying?
You've survived so much in your life, man. I mean, you've been through a lot.
Yes.
I want to congratulate you on your new documentary and, of course, your new book, man. It's been a big year for you.
Thank you. Thank you. You know what? It's been like years of working on those things. But, you know, the book is going to be one of many, and could be the documentary also, because I really want to pay it forward, man. You know, like a lot of people tell me, you know, like, including good friend of mine, they said, oh, you're Leo, you just want to be the center of attention. I said, you guys don't understand, man. It's not about being center of attention. It's about, you know, I almost died and I came back twice, and I really want to pay it forward. I said, and you know, getting my doctorate, you know, it's not for me because I have already made it and I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Financially, it's about paying it forward and helping others. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I have a lot of questions for you, George. I want to ask you the first question, which is nothing to do with bodybuilding at all or fitness, but, you know, it's about the Middle East. And I know it's a controversial subject, and I'm only asking you because you came up in Lebanon, right? Which is obviously the conflict right now is in Gaza and Israel, but you're the only person that can possibly say something in this matter. Obviously, there's a lot of protests happening. There's a lot of back and forth on social media, which is terrible, of course. You know, the back and forth. Do you think that? And I'm only asking you because you're from close by in the region, right?
Yes.
Do you think in the fitness industry and outside of the politics, there should be any discussions, especially in the comments, on the subject matter?
I mean, you know what? We're human. You know, after all, we're human. You know what I'm saying? So if you can go on unaffected by what's going on, I mean, you and I sometimes will watch. You know, I'm sure you're the same as me. We watch some like reel or something on our phone, and we see, you know, somebody left his dog, or oh my God, somebody killed a dog and they didn't care, threw him in the garbage or whatever. Oh my God, we start crying and we feel bad. It's a lot of people, man. Over 36,000 people dead and continue. So yeah. The bottom line, it's what's so sad and what hurt me the most is it's all over religion. It's crazy. Bro, we all bleed the same blood, red. You know what I'm saying? We're all brothers and sisters. I mean, shame on us. 2024, and we're still, you know what I'm saying? Like trying to control, you know, each other by who's wrong and who's right. I don't think, listen, when it comes to innocent people dying, I don't think there's anybody wrong or right. You know what I'm saying? They're all wrong. You know, like, do I condemn Hamas? Of course I condemn Hamas. But do I condemn the Israeli army, what they're doing? Of course I'm going to condemn them too, because you're killing innocent people. You know what I'm saying? You want to get rid of Hamas? Work it a better way. There's a lot of other ways to do it.
No, I appreciate it, man. And it's a very sad situation, very sad situation. So George, I want to ask you about bodybuilding. Do you still love bodybuilding? You've been in the business for quite some time. Do you still love it?
Bodybuilding is, you know, I have this very special place in my heart, you know, because bodybuilding is what made me the man I am today. Bodybuilding, without bodybuilding, I wouldn't have that strong willpower, that, you know, dedication, the attitude towards everything. Because remember, every negative came at me, I always turned into a positive. You know what I'm saying? So the bottom line is, I love bodybuilding, and without bodybuilding, you know, I won't be George Farah, the people they know. So how can I say Oh no, I'm gonna forget about bodybuilding. No, my bodybuilding is with me to stay. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. How many clients, since you started coaching, right? You started coaching as when you were still competing, you were coaching people, I know, but how many clients would you say you've coached over the years?
Oh my God, it's thousands, definitely. And I mean, I have over 200 professional, people turn pro. So I have taken well over 100 people to the Olympia. So it's crazy, man. Like how many people I have done helping and dude, like how some people they act like, oh, I made you. No, dude. You know what I always say? I tell people, man, I am just blessed that these guys give me the opportunity to be part of their dreams. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. Who, and you have to please answer this question for me. Don't try to shy away from it, okay? Who would you say was the most demanding pro client you've ever had over the years? Who
It,
really demanded a lot of your attention?
it's very different. It's depending on who. I mean, I have some amateur athlete, they drive me insane more than any pros. You know what I'm saying? It's because they don't know me, they don't know the plan, how things gonna work, they don't trust. So you still, and I really work on a lot of people's mind because remember we talked me and you in the past, everything start within here. If you're not ready up here, you're never going to be ready any other place. So I have to work on them. And then I'll give you a perfect example. Ali Bilal, right? He was just doing the show. We start working before together, but then I got sick and I left, and he really wanted to work with me so bad, but then he heard that I wasn't gonna work with many athletes, and he thought that I'm not gonna work with any athlete. So he reached out to me. He goes, "Man, I'm bummed. I'm not doing good with my coach. I wish." I said, Ali, I'm still working with some athlete. Well, dude, you're a star. I can take you and make you again. So we start working, and all the way till the last minute, we went to the Pittsburgh Pro just this past weekend, and he was worried all the way to like 3-4 days. I'm like, dude, listen to me. You're going there to win. There's nobody touching you. I'm telling you. I said, do you ever see yourself look? He goes, George, honestly, I have never thought I'm gonna look this way. I said, so what are you worried about then? If this is the best you ever looked. So finally, when they call him and they send him back, and like, he couldn't believe it. And I already knew he won, like, because I see how the judges doing things. But I'm not gonna tell him, hey, you won. I want him to keep living that moment. And then at night when he won, he just jumped and he goes, "Oh my God!" So it's so funny. Fast forward, a few days later now, whatever I tell him, "Oh my God, dude, you're gonna see how great I'm gonna look better than Pittsburgh." But you know what? Because his mind at ease, he knew that I made him win, and now it's just gonna be like cruise control. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So it's all starting here, man. If you're not ready, up there, it's very hard to convince somebody.
Have you ever had a pro client, somebody that we might know that you were struggling with, meaning that like maybe the coaching was just not working at first and it took a while for either to adjust or it didn't work out at all?
Oh, I mean, oh my God, I do. And that's why a lot of people don't, realize that I have taken many people that nobody knew who they were. And all of a sudden they become big star. But then I walk away and they wonder why. And the reason why, because, back in the days, I would have hang on to the guy. I'm like, like we said. But then after I almost, died a couple of times and saw death in my own eyes, dude, I don't have I don't have place on my heart for negativity. In like I said, man, I just want, like I want to surround myself people with always being positive, being, yeah, okay, man, great deal. People like, oh man, we should have done it. That's not for me. You know what I'm saying? And mind you, like I said, I took people nobody knew who they were, and all of a sudden they're like stars now. You know what I'm saying? But I walk away because of that reason, because I really don't want negative anymore.
It seems like in your life, like when you had the cancer experience, which was terrible, after you beat the cancer, you had like a spiritual awakening, right? And we'll talk about that in a minute. But what about before that spiritual awakening? What was George Farah like before? Were you more cutthroat? Were you more, you know what I mean,
You
aggressive?
know, I was honestly, I don't know if you remember, but I was never cutthroat, bro. Even from the get-go, like, you know, people used to tell me, like, for an example, when I worked with Big Ramy, they said, man, Big Ramy left you or something. I'm like, yeah, so what, I'm supposed to be mad? He's still my brother. He talked to me and he said he wants to try something else. But why? He just won the Arnold Brazil. This I said, listen, we're a human. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, if I really gonna preach to the people that we're brothers and sisters, then guess what? The least I can do is show them that we're brothers and sisters, not just say it and not mean it. You know what I'm saying? So Rami was still till now every time, you know, holidays, whatever, you call me, you know, happy birthday, happy whatever, you know, like we're staying in touch, we're family. You don't just want to be mean and upset. Like I told you before, it's not worth it. You know, at the beginning, I used to get mad and take it to heart, but right now it's definitely, you know, like, you know, I did change, not a lot, but right now I'm definitely don't care. You come, you go, doesn't matter, you know. I gotta go on with my life, man. I gotta be here for my family, for my sisters, my brothers, my daughters. You know what I'm saying? That's what
Yeah.
matters. You know?
Have you ever had a client leave you and you maybe told them, hey, man, it's not the right time. I can still have, like you felt like you needed more time with that person. Have that ever happened to you?
Oh my God, yes. You know, it always. You don't understand. You know, like I took a person for an example that never placed in the national, right? And he took second, and he said, oh man, we should have done it differently. I said, hey, you can go with somebody else. If that's how you feel. You never placed in the top five, and now you're second in the toughest show, you know, as an amateur. And you telling me this, so I let him go, you know. And I get another pro. I'm not gonna tell you the name, but I made him, you know, way up there. And then I talked to them. I said, listen, I looked at your blood work. We need to take a break. Okay, yeah, we need to take a break. You're right and stuff. And all of a sudden, another show came. No, I gotta do it. I gotta do it. Okay, here you go. That somebody else can help you because I can't help you. Because, you know, to me, is more than just winning, you know, in making name for myself. It's that I can put my head you know, my head on the pillow and go to sleep, not worry about somebody's health. You see what I'm saying? So
Right.
this is this, you know, it's I have a really different attitude than a lot of people, man. I'm here to make bodybuilding the sport that we all thrive and love. I want it to be perfect. That's how I believe, you know, and I truly, truly believe if every coach and everybody in the industry, people like you, because you're really doing an amazing job, you know,
Yeah.
if we all give the love that industry deserve, that industry will thrive, man. We'll be better than anybody because it is the hardest working people in this industry. I mean, this sport is not easy, man. 24/7, all year round, 365. You gotta like really, if you wanna be champ, every day count, every meal count, every rep count. So yeah, but we need to do it with love, you know.
Sure. Let's talk about Kai Greene. Now,
Oh,
the last man, your favorite client, right? For the last,
you know what? I love Kai. You know, I wanna tell you a little secret about Kai. Okay, it's so cool. Look, I'm glad you brought this. But here's just a couple of days ago. Hey, good morning, brother. I need to start my prep for real, George. I feel behind. I'm not myself these days. Okay, I got you, brother. Let's do it. So you know what I'm saying? This is the kind of mentality. That's why I love Guy, man. He always like have that drive. You know, like as soon as he see like he's gonna be out, come on, George, I need a diet. I need so that's why, man, you know, you become a family. Him, Dexter, you know, Branch. I mean, those guys, man, we go way back.
sure.
Yes.
But speaking of Kai, at this point, I mean, I'm talking for the fans now of the sport, right? Should we stop teasing his comeback every year? Should we stop talking about his comeback? I mean, honestly, George, come on, let's be honest.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I wish I can answer you, man, and be real. Because, like I said, when he sent me this, he goes, "Listen, man, I just want to be ready. I want." I'm like saying to myself, honestly, I haven't even replied. I said, "I got your back. What do you tell you know whatever you want?" But then I'm thinking to myself, He wants to get ready and prep for what? You know what I'm saying? I didn't really get the chance to, because I really want to talk to him. I said, Kai, okay, great, you want to prep, but for what? Do you really want to do the Olympia again? You want to do another show? Because I'm telling you, man, I have no doubt in my mind, because a lot of people, remember, a lot of people, when they leave the sport, and they come back, almost none of them done good, except maybe the latest one that I can remember. It was Lou Ferrigno that left for a while and then he came back and did decent. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, they all they never, none of them did very well. The different though, Kai haven't stopped working out. Kai haven't stopped being a bodybuilder. I mean, my God, we were just doing the guru, that premiere, walking the red carpet. He sat next to me. I'm like, his legs. I'm like, oh my God. I put my hand. He's still just huge because he's still like a kid in the gym, man. It's like still hungry. So I think if he wants to do it, man, we'll be all surprised, And I would love to, but I can't, I can't tell a grown man what to do or not. You know how it is.
Sure. But I think at this point, he doesn't want to do
it. Like I said, I mean, I can really put that thing to show you. He really say, hey, good morning, George. I mean, I don't know if you can read it, but he really told me, like he's really telling me, like, he want, we're gonna start prep. I need to start my prep for real, George. I feel behind, not myself these days. We must start. I said, okay, I got you, but I haven't asked him, what prep for what. It's crazy.
Who's one coach in the game that you respect the most?
I like people that nobody knows who they are.
You know how in bodybuilding people say there's politics, right?
Nonsense. If it's politics, why Rami is an Arab guy won twice.
Let's talk about last year's Olympia really quick.
It was disappointing.